Zoe from Vegan in Brighton, and today I'm here to tell you about how I travel the world just with this 38 litre Osprey Farpoint backpack. The best thing about this backpack is that you can take it as your carry-on item. It's hand luggage compliant with every airline I've ever flown with, which makes travelling so much easier because you don't need to hang around and wait for your stuff, and you're not going to be one of those people carrying a backpack around the world that's bigger than you are. So this is the Osprey Farpoint 38 litre backpack. It's really good because it's not top loading. It opens just like a suitcase does. So it's really easy for you to access the whole bag. Inside you also have this really handy pocket which fits loads of the stuff you might need to get quickly inside. The front pocket is incredibly useful. It has a zip pocket and this pocket. And then you also have this little front pocket, which is great for all that stuff you're going to need to access quickly. First things first, clothes. One thing I think a lot of people do when they travel is they take far too many clothes with them. The first thing I always do when I'm planning for a trip is I pile up everything I'm thinking of taking with me and I like half it. So one of the ways that I managed to fit all of these clothes into this backpack is by using packing cubes. So when you use a packing cube, you roll rather than fold your clothes. Now this makes fitting stuff into a small space so much easier. Clothes wise, I always just take with me a couple of pairs of shorts, one dress, a long sleeve shirt because you're always going to be somewhere where having long sleeves is really important, like if you need to dress for a temple or in somewhere where you need to be more modest. A pair of long trousers, a couple of t-shirts, a few tank tops, a couple of options for swimwear, a scarf, a hoodie and a hat. As you can see, everything fits really nicely in here. The one thing we don't have in here is underwear. I have a separate packing cube just for that. So that has underwear, socks and bras and handkerchiefs. And I think that's a good size. I probably take about 5 pairs of everything and probably 2 bras. I just pop the packing cube right at the bottom of the bag. Fits down there really nicely. And then I'm going to start putting some things around that. So I always pop in a guidebook. It's all well and good to get your travel information off the internet, but sometimes you aren't going to have the internet and you don't want to be stuck somewhere for a whole day with no idea what to do. Next thing I always put in are tons of bars. As a vegan on the road, it's important to always carry snacks with you just so that you're not ending up in a sticky situation where you have no food at all. Now these fit really easily almost everywhere, and the good thing about them is if they get squashed it really doesn't matter because they still taste exactly the same. I always take a travel towel with me for when you're staying in places like bed and breakfast or hostels where you either have to pay for your towels or where they're just not available at all. It's also really good for the beach and it really doesn't take up much space at all. The next thing I do is I just shove my shoes down the side. I usually travel with 2 pairs of shoes, some sneakers from Athletic and some water shoes, which are over here. Now I'm obviously going to be wearing the shoes, so I just put both of them in the bag. I usually wear whichever one's the biggest or just whatever I feel like. They'll both fit in here quite easily. The next thing is my toiletry bag and first aid kit. I'm not going to show you every single thing that's in here, but a couple of my travel essentials are Lush solid shampoo and conditioner bars. I feel like it's super useful to have a solid shampoo and conditioner because then you don't need to fit them in your liquid bag. And when you're flying with hand luggage only, you only get a very small liquid bag restriction, just one of these Ziploc bags, and everything that goes in there has to be really small. So these are useful. I also always take bar soap rather than shower gel, despite shower gel being my preference, just because again, with the liquid bar allowance, it's really important. Other things that are in here are vitamins, handy wipes, that kind of thing. Super useful for travel. Because everything in this liquid bag does fit inside here when I'm travelling, So in my opinion, necessary liquids include stuff like lip balm, which they do sometimes count as a liquid because it's a liquid, a gel or a paste. B12 spray, super important. Don't go travelling on the road without your B12 spray, vegans, it's important. Moisturiser, suntan lotion, my one piece of makeup, mascara, which is necessary. Peanut butter sachets, I love travelling with these. These ones are super delicious. Suntan lotion, leave-in conditioner, which I'm aware is not a travel essential, but for this hair it really is. So, and yeah, toothpaste is another one. Pop that into the bag here, because as I said, that fits inside that bag normally. Next thing is the little bag with my underwear will go in here, and then I always take a Tupperware travelling with me. As a vegan on the road, I feel like it's really important to have somewhere where you can pop some food for later. So if there's only one vegan restaurant in the city, maybe you don't want to travel all the way there to go for dinner, but you can get some takeaway at lunchtime and pop it in here. It currently has tofu inside. I put my Tupperware in there. The next thing I put in is a cotton sleeping bag liner. I feel like these are super useful. I mainly use it for when I'm really cold on night trains in Thailand, to be honest. So that's very helpful. My wallet fits in here, and I squeeze in all my charging cables. So my laptop cable goes in there. My universal plug adapter squeezes in here. And then I always take a head torch. If you're actually scrabbling around for stuff in the dark, a head torch is so much more useful than a regular torch. The next thing I put in is a day bag. This is super useful because it's actually a backpack in here that folds up into this tiny pouch. So that's super handy because this backpack obviously doesn't come with its own day bag that zips off. So pop one in here. This pocket is incredibly useful for all those things that you're going to need to grab in a hurry. So I put in my e-reader charger, my phone charger. I put in a whole selection of Ziploc bags, which again, as a vegan on the road, you're going to want to take snacks with you, so I pop those in there. Also pop in a little pouch that I use to keep my jewellery in. I also keep some string, which comes in handy for loads of things, but mainly for playing with cats. This is also the place for your clothesline, which again, if you're not taking many clothes with you, you probably will need to do laundry while you're travelling. And a universal sink plug, useful for almost anything involving a sink. This front pocket's great, it's surprisingly roomy, and I can fit quite a lot of stuff in here. So we'll start with the back pocket and pop my laptop in there. And then I always take a wallet with all of my essential travel documents. It's got my health insurance numbers, it's got my passport, it's got some pictures of my best friend, it's got an eye mask, all those useful things that you need to carry with you but you don't want to get squashed. Pop them in there. My e-reader fits nicely above my laptop in this little pouch. And then here I'm going to put my dry bag. I always take this with me when I'm going on boats or kayaking. It's really helpful because you don't want to drop your electrical items in the sea. The backpack also has an official rain cover from Osprey. This fits on perfectly and it's great. You need it in this front pocket because in a rainstorm you really don't want to be fumbling around trying to find it. You're going to want to get it quickly. Next I'll pop in my notebook. Always need that with me. Sunglasses, some flat snacks fit in here nicely. And then this is also where I put my scarf, because if you're freezing cold somewhere, you're going to want to be able to grab it quickly, or if you suddenly realise that you're maybe dressed a little inappropriately for a situation, having a scarf on hand is really important. The next bit I'm going to put some stuff in is this little pocket at the front. Now this is where I put stuff that I need immediately. A couple of snacks. Sometimes when I'm travelling I end up a little hangry, so it's good to have snacks on hand. My plastic cutlery, because you don't want to lose those, you never know when you might need them. My earplugs, these come in very useful on overnight train journeys. Some antihistamines and painkillers, because you never know what's going to happen, you might need those. And then my headphones, because music is incredibly important when you're travelling. The next important thing for me is a tote bag. Now I just tend to roll this up and pop it in one of these front side pockets. Now, when I'm going through airports, quite often I'll just have that as my carry-on. So my Ziploc bag with my liquids will be in there, my purse will be in there, my notebook will probably be in there with pens. So the next step, the final step, is to put your last couple of things in here and to get everything zipped up. So I'll put my hat up here, and then I put my hoodie over the top of everything. It doesn't matter what kind of climate I'm travelling to, I always travel with a hoodie. I'm always prone to getting cold either on the plane or at a hotel where the air conditioning's blasting. Compression straps are super useful because they help you squeeze everything down, so when you start putting your stuff in your bag Make sure your compression straps are out. There's nothing more frustrating than packing your entire bag only to realise that those compression straps are wedged underneath everything. So that's all closed up nicely. So we're going to close it. Now all you need to wedge in there is your reusable water bottle. And you're good to go. As you can see, this bag is not enormous, and really travelling around the world with it isn't at all annoying. I actually don't mind carrying this for like an hour or two through a city where I'm looking for somewhere to stay. Thanks for watching the packing video today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions about packing light or about travelling the world as a vegan, do leave them in the comments below, and I hope you have a great day.